protocols. Citi News' Kujajman reports.
Key issues addressed at the press briefing included how government plans to salvage the economy, updates on payment of customers of defunct non-bank financial institutions, and Ghana's COVID-19 case management. The information minister, who spoke on Ghana's plan to revamp the economy, announced that President Akufo-Addo has instructed all ministers to provide a report on the impact of coronavirus pandemic on their various sectors and prefer solutions aimed at mitigating the effect on the economy.
Now, about 8 weeks into the pandemic here in Ghana, and as we get closer to mid-year, the government of Ghana has actual data on the real impact of COVID-19 across various sectors: education, health, the economy, trade, the legal front, several other areas. The president has instructed all ministers to report on the impact across their sectors and proffer recommendations for recovery. At a cabinet retreat that is starting later today and will go on for the next 3 days, the government of Ghana will examine the observed impact, the recommendations that have been made, the implications, and will commence preparations for laying same before Parliament during the mid-year review.
Giving update on payment of customers of defunct financial institutions, Kojo Oponkruma said the receiver is set to complete by ending of May a second level of validation processes to pay all affected customers whose funds were locked up after the Bank of Ghana revoked the licenses of the institutions.
The receiver, an official liquidator, has commenced work on some 5.32 billion, leaving an amount of 340 million that is going through the very final processes of second level checks. Payments made to date. Depositor payments are made in two forms, that is in cash and by way of zero coupon rated bonds. To date, approximately 2.11 billion has been paid in cash, while about 2.95 billion has been paid in bonds, bringing total payment to 5.06 billion.
On Ghana's COVID-19 situation, the Ghana Health Service explained why Ghana is witnessing a decline in the number of positive COVID-19 cases despite having over 3,000 cases. The Director General, Dr. Patrick Kumar-Boajem, said since Ghana reached its peak of infections on April 27, the positivity rate has continued to decline. He, however, said the country is not out of danger yet, hence the need for Ghanaians to observe all preventive measures.
We have been looking at, we wish we were able to get cases every day and be able to report on the positivity. But we also have the opportunity to go back and take samples and to see where, the day that the samples were taken, how many were positive, which actually gives us something similar to if we had done it in real time. If you look at that data, we peaked around the 27th of April this year. And since then, the numbers have continued to come down till the last presented, that was yesterday. So that is showing that of the positivity, since the peaking on the 27th of April, we have consistently recorded a decline until today. And we hope that will continue to be the case so that we'll be able to nip it, these cases, bring it under control, not actually control it.
We have been told that over 200,000 small businesses will be supported by government. Information Minister has also said that all sector ministers have been asked to bring reports on the impact of COVID-19 on their various sectors and also come up with solutions that will help the country come out of the woods. My name is Kojo Atman reporting for Citi News.
Meanwhile, the minority in Parliament has criticized government's handling of the COVID-19 situation in the country. Now, according to the minority, the president has largely ignored data and science in taking critical decisions. Speaking at a press briefing in Parliament, the minority leader, Haruna Idrisu, said the NPP administration has failed in its handling of the situation.
The minority leader at the press briefing expressed disappointment in the president for his handling of the COVID-19 situation, casting doubt over the role of data and science in the decisions made so far.
Many professionals have observed that the data being published by the Ghana Health Service does not lend itself to meaningful analysis in the form it is presented. I mean, any of you who watches Euro News or Sky, even if you listen to the British Health Minister or holding forth Prime Minister in their brief, you can compare and make analysis out of the data made available than what is done in Ghana. What you are just told is 3,000 cases, recoveries and deaths. That is not sufficient for any thorough health analysis. We need to know how many persons are affected, and for our view as a minority, testing, tracing, monitoring and isolation should have been the order of the day from day one. The focus of this administration should have been on testing, monitoring, and where it is necessary, isolation. And therefore, we are disappointed at government's response to this matter.
He spoke about the limited number of PPEs for frontline health workers and its negative impact on the fight against the pandemic.
Our healthcare workers cannot face the weeks ahead unequipped and unprotected. Personal protection equipment must be made available adequately and in sufficient quantities across the country to all health professionals, in order that we'll get this process going. I do not intend to respond to the health minister's statement that they are being stolen. He knows people who steal, what should happen to them, and he should invoke the law and let those persons face the full rigors of the law. We cannot at this time be interested in making money out of PPEs donated. So that's why an audit becomes an imperative for us to understand what quantities were acquired, what quantities were sent to which hospital, which region, which district, at what time.
The minority then asked the government to evacuate citizens stranded in other countries.
As a minority, we are concerned about the plight of Ghanaians who appear stranded in other jurisdictions following the closure of their borders. Indeed, this morning I got a call from some Ghanaians in Nigeria who have been locked down and even ready to come at their own cost. And therefore, the foreign ministry, even as countries have locked down, it's practically impossible to be able to do it. But many other countries are evacuating their citizens. India have done it, South Africa have done it, the UK, the US have done it. Probably his resilient economy cannot evacuate Ghanaian citizens abroad. Probably. That is why he may not be able to venture into that enterprise. It is our considered view that just as our government is able to open our airports despite the closures for foreign nationals to be evacuated out of Ghana, government should do same by providing a narrow opportunity under strict evacuation protocols of screening, testing and quarantine where necessary in order to secure and safeguard the lives of Ghanaians abroad. The minority urges government to ensure a high level of accountability and transparency in this enterprise.
So the minority just delivered its own reflections and its diagnosis and reading of the situation with regards to COVID-19 in the country. Reporting for Citi News from the administration block here in Parliament, my name is Duke Mansopoku.
In barely 8 months, Ghanaians would be going to the polls to elect a president and members of parliament for the next 4 years, barring any changes to the timelines due to the COVID-19 pandemic. In what looks like a preparation for the contest, the governing New Patriotic Party has appointed a renowned former national chairman of the party, Peter McMahonu, as the campaign manager for the December general elections. Mr. McMahonu, who is currently the board chairman of the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, held the same position in 2016. Citi News' Samiri Afe has more in this report.
Mr. Peter McMahonu was named campaign manager for the NPP for the 2020 election run after a National Executive Committee meeting weeks ago. He will have 3 deputies: Minister of Zongo and Inner City Development, Dr. Mustafa Hamid, Director of Operations at the Presidency, Lord Kome, and the CEO of the Ghana Export Promotion Authority, Afia Asabia Asare. This will not be new to the 68-year-old astute politician. In 2015, then candidate Nana Akufo-Addo appointed him as campaign manager in the 2016 election. In 2020, the dynamics in terms of the campaign message and strategy will be different since the MPP is in power. Speaking to Citi News, Peter McMenu says he and his team has the right message to retain the MPP and President Akufo-Addo in power.
Every election is unique, and the voters are not static. The environment is not static. The governance structure, the educational, the economy, the environment, agriculture, whatnot. We are going to present to Ghanaians where we took government, economic, agriculture, finance, education in 2016 December, and where we have brought them to. So it's not going to be the same. We gave a promise, and we strongly believe that under the leadership, the able leadership of the President, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, and his vice, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, we have taken this country to a certain level.
With the coronavirus pandemic still lingering, campaigning for the various political parties will be a challenge. But Mr. Peter McMenu said the MPP will focus more on digital campaigning ahead of the election.
In all these our preparations towards the election, we have always what we call Plan B, because now we are not in normal times. So what is our Plan B? And I can tell you that we have a solid Plan B backed by a solid digital technology. Because you cannot do many direct contact campaigning door to door, you may have to rely mainly on digital. And our digital directorate, which is also part of the structure of our campaign, is also a solid team, and they are working hard.
Now, in some other news, some freight forwarders in Takoradi on Thursday picketed at the Customs Division of the Ghana Revenue Authority offices in Takoradi to demand the suspension of UNIPAS, which they say has been problematic for their operations.
According to them, although they raised several issues with the UNIPAS throughout the training and piloting a month ago in Takoradi, the problems were not addressed, leading to a suspension after it was extended to Tema.
Now, speaking to Citi News in Takoradi, some freight forwarders called on government to restore GCNet in Takoradi, just as it has been done in Tema, until the UNIPAS challenges are fixed.
If I have a machine that I'm working with and it takes me 10 minutes to do a job, and you bring me a new and a better machine in the 21st century, and this machine is going to take me 3 hours to work with, what are we talking about? Are you taking me back 25 years, or are you taking me forward into the future? We should be prepared for the future. The government has to look at this. We, the importers and the clearing agents, we are not happy. It's taking us longer to clear. It's taking us more time and more cost.
The ships that came last week, for 1 week now we can't clear because there's something called gate in. When the ships bring the container, the shipping line is connected to use the system to connect the containers to the platform. The shipping, that's the port platform where we can do physical examination and clear the goods. The shipping line cannot do gate in.
It really affected us in the sense that even the shipping lines, the other stakeholders, are having a lot of challenges. We felt it was just an ordinary glitch, but now we have noticed that it is taking a seed that is really worrying us. For instance, if you really want to even send your declaration or send your CCVR, when you send your CCVR previously, within the shortest possible time, we've gotten it. Now, it can even take more than 3 weeks, and they're still having it in their system. I'm not saying in the whole, all the items are like that, but currently that is what we are facing.
You're still watching the Citi Newsroom on Citi TV. Now, still to come, residents of German North
Stay with us for details of that and more. Please don't go anywhere.
Extra data, extra minutes, and extra unlimited calls. Not just that, even our extra data doesn't expire. See the film? Simply dial *111# to bundle now. Airtel Tigo. Life is simple.
It's here, the Express Pay app. More social, more power, more services. Experience a cooler way of payments with exciting new features. Want to go social? Upload a cool image to add a personal feel to your account. Payments are even more seamless with an enhanced process. Mark some accounts as favorites so they are super easy to access. Even cooler, view payment due dates and check remaining balances for your favorite accounts. Want to repeat a payment? Do that right from the History tab. Have all your money in one place with a sleek look and feel. Bank Direct has had an awesome makeover. You can now send money instantly to 22 banks and counting. Express Pay. Payments simplified.
Hello again. Residents of German North of District of the Bono region say they are anxious about the region recording its first COVID-19 case. The region is now the 13th out of 16 regions to record a case of COVID-19. Some residents who spoke to Citi News say they have started observing the approved safety measures to stay safe.
But unfortunately, this morning you did not hear a very good news. Very sad news that we are recording a case. But I was so sad. I decided to go home, not to come to work today at all. But due to one or two things, I'm around. And we are praying to God that we will not recording the case again. So I'm encouraging my police, the taxi drivers to organize themselves and protect themselves very well. Though we are in the border town, but we need to comport ourselves.
When we had our first case in Bono region here, Ghana, German of here, it was so bad, and I am a taxi driver, and it has affected our taxi business. Now, if the person is coming to even take a cab to somewhere, he's bothering about maybe you get coronavirus or whatever. So now we are suffering here. The business has come down totally.
In so many ways. We need help. A lot of help. We need it. Because there is a lot of underproof routes to the town. So we need the security agencies to be vigilant. Even we've heard that some people are using this as their business, transporting people from other countries to this town, which is not very sounding very well.
Some traders who were relocated to La Nkwantanan Basic School from Madina Zongo Junction in Accra have moved back onto the streets. The traders were moved to the school as part of efforts to decongest the streets of Madina and ensure social distancing to curtail the spread of COVID-19. But a visit to the area showed the traders are flouting the social distancing protocol. Citi News' Na Adole Mofat has more.
They were moved to the Lankwantanan Basic School to ensure social distancing in order to stem the spread of COVID-19. Prior to this was where they plied their trade, on the pavements of some major streets within the Lankwantanan Madina Municipal Assembly. But on Thursday, April 30, the traders returned to trade on the pavements. They chased away authorities from the assembly who were trying to evict them from the streets. This is the Lankwantana Primary and JHS School. Now, market women who were selling at the roadside were moved here as to curtail the spread of the coronavirus and to ensure that they practice the social distancing protocol. Now, as you can see here, most of them have moved back to the roadside. We have about just 5 market women trading here. You're going to ask them why they are still here, and as well, go to the roadside and find out why these market women have moved from the school park back to the roadside.
We were there and they said we shouldn't sell at the roadside again, so we should move to this place. And we came to nothing is going on.
Back on the streets at Madina, authorities were present to ensure that the traders relocate to the basic school. So as you can see, most market women, they are moving from the roadside because authorities have come sacking them back to the Lankwantana Primary and JHS School. But they are still refusing. Let's see how this will go for them. But why do these traders find it difficult to adhere to laid down rules by the authorities?
Akasha dwano anto a na ade na wo de ba no de na mfaso be na wo ho ndo say what ade esi ye kɔ hɔ no what ade ma he na anka ye ma matena ha say ye ba ha nti ha no mo tɔ ade ma he nti na ye ba no
sisi ane ye mba ne ye ne ye hwɛ fie nti ne se meba akɔ akɔfo anya ma na asan ye meka na ba ye fo san jojo mu a enye yie.
The public relations officer for the Lankwantana Madina Municipal Assembly, Isaac Odumejin, says stricter measures are being put in place to ensure that the traders respect the social distancing protocol.
They seem not to, I don't know, it's like they don't even believe that the disease is rare. We go there, educate them, this, but this thing is the white man's disease. Enforcement need to continue. See, we cannot do it just a day or two, because we are all not used to this social distancing kind of thing. And so we are going to continue to ensure that it gets a time that everybody now understands that there's a need for us to distance ourselves from one another. I know we even intend that you will seize your goods, even though we've done this with human face for quite a long time. But I know the situation we find ourselves, continuing using human face will also create problems for us in the long run.
Authorities at the Lankwantana Madina Municipal Assembly say by Friday, traders along the Madina stretch will be moved back to the Lankwantana Basic School and the Fire Armor Basic School to ensure that these traders practice the social distancing protocol. Reporting for Citi News, I am Na Adole Moffat.
Meanwhile, authorities of Obuasi and Obuasi East municipalities in the Ashanti region have served notice they will shut down 2 major markets in their jurisdictions to curb the spread of COVID-19. Now, this is because traders have disregarded the social distancing protocol, although Obuasi has recorded 48 positive cases, the highest in the region. The Obuasi Municipal Assembly is also putting strict measures in place to enforce the wearing of nose masks and stop pub and nightclubs from operating. Citi News' Edward Opomafo has more.
Obuasi has so far recorded 48 cases of COVID-19. According to authorities in the municipality, despite their continuous efforts to get residents to observe the various health and safety measures, some persons blatantly defy the protocols, hence their increasing numbers. Some residents say they are worried about a rise in the cases. They are thus calling on authorities to intensify sensitization and enforce the rules strictly to control the spread.
I took a cab right now, and then the driver was like wearing nose mask, and then he was saying something like, Obuasi, it is not true that the pandemic has spread and something. Are you? People are behaving as if nothing is happening, and truly speaking, it's really scary. It's really scary because you might protect yourself. On the other hand, someone might play ignorant. I think the laws must be enforced. Even if it requires employing the police or the military to ensure that people put on this nose mask and stuff. I think it should be done that way.
The education hasn't gone down well with people. Don't forget, if you're educating somebody who is illiterate, who doesn't understand some of these scientific issues, it will be very difficult. You need to go more. You need to do more. You need to go further to explain a lot of things. And then probably we have to also punish lawbreakers, those who are not going by the protocols.
In a bid to control the spread, the Obuasi Municipal Assembly and the Obuasi East Municipal Assembly have decided to shut down the two biggest markets at Obuasi, the Central Markets A and B, over the traders' failure to comply with a social distancing protocol. The Obuasi Municipal Chief Executive, Elijah Dansibona, says a shift system would be introduced before the traders are allowed to operate in the two major markets. He says stringent measures are being put in place to enforce all the safety protocols.
Tomorrow, we are closing down our two major markets. We are Central Market A and B. We engaged the market queens severally. They promised to heed to the instructions we gave to them. We monitored, and they were living up to that. Later, we realized that all of them had defied the instructions we gave to them, and they were coming every day. Instead of coming the other day, we grouped them. These people are supposed to come tomorrow, and the next day, maybe on the third day, another group will come. They defied all. So the security agencies recommended and agreed that the central market should be closed for 3 days so that we'll meet the leadership of the markets and then arrange with them how they should come to do business at the central business area. No mask, no entry policy is also being enforced. We've communicated to all public and privately owned institutions.
But the traders are divided over the decision.
There have been precautions and measures put in place by our leaders for us, the market women, to follow. And because we are not using hand sanitizers or washing our hands or putting on the nose guard, the disease is increasing in Obuasi and social distancing. And therefore, they said they are closing the markets for us so we can be safe. Just the market women are causing the problem. So I think if they close down the markets for us to be safe, I think it's okay.
Say, come my notice say be o mo kan say e free na kopin for obi an to turn niam na so obi an hwe say ye we start on Monday. Na ye say yentu a ye di ye ko fa niam na e ba no e kine say be baba. Niam e ba me yi. O mo so say me embedwum. Na fe na ka ne ba be siwa kopin Monday na na. And eno na ha ye.
Officials of Anglo-Gold Ashanti Obuasi Mine, where some cases have been recorded, say they have put adequate measures in place to curtail the spread of the disease. A senior sustainability manager for the company says they have manufactured their own hand sanitizers, which are being distributed to major stakeholders such as the police and the prison service as their contribution to the national fight against the disease.
As I speak, we have set up a small facility at our Enterprise Development Center, which is managed under our trust fund to manufacture and then for use of the hand sanitizer on the mine. And then at the same time, it gives us an opportunity to have some quantity which we can also share.
From the Central Business District of Obuasi, I am Edward Upon Marvel for Citi News.
Compliance to social distancing as one of the main protocols to curb the spread of COVID-19 is undoubtedly not the best in Ghana and many parts of the world. In the Brim Central Municipality of the Eastern Region, authorities have identified this as a major threat to their fight against the disease. Although the region has witnessed an increase in COVID-19 cases, life is normal in most places like the Akim Oda Township, where a first positive case was confirmed on Wednesday. Citi News' Neoni Amate reports that authorities in the Brim Central Municipality have threatened to close down businesses to prevent a further spread.
The Brim Central Municipal Assembly says it will from Friday begin an exercise to enforce the mandatory wearing of nose masks after a first positive case of COVID-19 was recorded on Wednesday. Majority of residents in Akemodan are still not observing the necessary safety protocols as they go about their daily activities. Some residents who spoke to Citi News blamed the situation on limited public education.
To be very honest, I think the education concerning the wearing of masks here in Akemodan is very low. Looking at the National Commission for Civic Education or whatever it is, they have done less a job. Because I see some of, Accra, Kumasi, and some other big regions that they go to schools, they go to markets, they go to some places to advise, to talk to citizens. But here, that is very, very, very low. So I think those people here are very ignorant of those PPEs that we are supposed to be putting on.
Because I don't know. I mean, I say we try here, no matter how you are, say you. I mean, yeah, because I'm only a few of I'm why. They met times in Kalamutangala 12. I'm over here to do. Because the Omampeni, Massa, and you don't go to your phone. And your mining in an oya Abuay.
The municipal chief executive, Madam Victoria Edu, who is worried about the development, says a task force will from Friday enforce the mandatory wearing of the nose mask. She warns they may close down businesses that fail to observe social distancing.
We are disturbed. I think you have seen what we are doing. We started with the hand washing. It came to the distancing. Now the nose mask and the applying of the sanitizers. And the government has taken it upon itself to supply, because we know we have some needy people in the society.
Some market queens who spoke to Citi News believe a closure will serve the interest of all.
I support her because she has been here several times advising us to remove our products from the way, and then we should social distance ourselves. We should wash our hands. She wants to demonstrate just right at this place. She bent down washing her hands, and then the lady told her, Madam Patrol, you too open wash your hands. That's why I'm telling you to move your products. So if she says she wants to lock the market, me, I support her.
The MC who led the distribution of some personal protective equipment to the market queens used the public address system at the market to educate and sensitize them on the need to adhere to all safety protocols.
The Ghana Police Service has announced a police COVID-19 management team. The team will put in place appropriate measures to cater for all police personnel at the front line of Ghana's COVID-19 management. Now, the IGP, after the lifting of the country's partial lockdown, directed that over 8,000 officers who took part in enforcing the restrictions on movement to go into self-isolation. The IGP, James Opon Bueno, at the launch of the Police Zoom Lion nationwide disinfection in Accra, assured that his outfit will do well to assuage the plight of frontline personnel. Citi News' Kujajman reports.
Over 8,000 police personnel enforced the partial lockdown in Accra, Greater Kumasi and Ewutusenya East, and these have had to self-isolate after the lockdown. It was later reported that the police officer at the Adenta Police Command in Accra had tested positive for COVID-19 after effecting an arrest. However, it is unclear if the officer contracted the virus from the culprit. To ensure the safety of police officers and to prevent the outbreak of COVID-19 at police installations across the country, the police has partnered waste management company Zoom Lion in a nationwide disinfection of all started at the National Police Training School. All drill quadrangles, offices, lecture halls, classrooms, as well as holding areas were disinfected. All tarred roads were also disinfected. Speaking ahead of the launch of the exercise, the IGP commended officers for their efforts during the partial lockdown and said management was putting together a package for them.
To the personnel of the Ghana Police Service, who have devoted your lives to help enforce the restrictions, or let me say, who have risked your lives to ensure restrictions are enforced, to make sure that Ghanaians stay safe. The police administration thanks you very much for your devotion, and I want to assure you on behalf of the Police Management Board that appropriate measures have been put in place to support you and to support you, to prevent you from getting the infection, and to treat any of you who may be infected in the course of your duties.
The exercise, which is being led by waste management company Zoomlion and its partners, will be carried out at all police installations across the country.
The scope of this exercise is not limited to disinfection of all the police cells and police stations. We have at least 1,249 police stations and cells together. And we also have 6 training schools of Ghana Police Service. We have their offices, we have their barracks, and we have markets specifically within the Ghana Police Service. So all these areas are the areas slated for these exercises.
The Adenta Municipal Police Command Station, which is reported to have a COVID-19 case, was disinfected after the Police National Training School.
You're still watching the Citi Newsroom on Citi TV, and ahead in the bulletin, Accra Regional Police Command arrests 2 residents of Adabraka for allegedly attacking police personnel and damaging property at the Adabraka Police Station.
We'll be back shortly with the details. Do stay.
If you can get all the understanding on some of the difficult subjects you struggle with in school. As a student, do you feel dissatisfied with how hard it is to figure out the subjects you're learning? Or as a parent or guardian, do you worry that your child is struggling to understand some of the subjects in school? Well, now you don't need to sign up for extra lessons or tutors. Simply tune in to Class Act, Mondays to Thursdays at 5:30 p.m. on Citi TV. Class Act is a show that seeks to enable senior high school students gain a much better understanding of what they learn in school. All you need is a TV, a chair, your notebook, and your pen. Get clarity on subjects such as maths, English, IT, and science. Class Act airs every Monday to Thursday at 5:30 p.m. on Citi TV on DSTV channel 363 and GoTV channel 182. Don't forget your pens, pencils, and your notebooks, and tune in to Class Act only on Citi TV.
Citi TV is live on DSTV. Go to channel 363. On GoTV, access Citi TV on channel 182. On a digital TV, please press the menu button on the remote control and run a new search on your TV. Take note that without an antenna, you cannot access Citi TV on your television. Citi TV can be accessed on a free-to-air digital box like the GoTV and Star Times box. Citi TV, it's your world.
Hello again. The West Municipal Assembly in the Greater Accra region is cautioning developers to desist from building around riverbanks in the municipality. Now, the Assembly, which says some developers have encroached on lands around water bodies in the area, expressed the concern during an exercise led by the Municipal Chief Executive to pull down uncompleted building projects along the Nsaki River. There is more in this report.
The structures close to the Nsaki River are gradually narrowing the water body. According to the West Municipal Assembly, the practice has dire consequences as enough space must be created for free flow of water at all times. The Municipal Chief Executive, Clement Wilkinson, after meeting traditional leaders of communities such as Ablekuma in Sakina, Bokoboko and adjoining areas, asked them to halt the sale of lands along water bodies in the municipality.
You can see that some people have started making some fence walls, putting some pillars, and those things we are going to remove them from there. Those are the measures that we are going to take right now. We are not going to arrest anybody, but we are going to take those measures and make sure those areas are clean. And we are going to start by those things by Monday. Most of them are saying that they're the chiefs, they are not the people who are selling the land. And they will tell you people from elsewhere, like maybe they are children or anybody. But we are giving a warning to everybody. But especially goes to those who buy it. If you don't buy it, the person will not sell. You realize why people are buying the waterways and they start building. Then once the encroachment is going on, then the water cannot flow as it was before. So these things give people problems in the area.
Linguist of Mahian, Emmanuel Ni Aite, supported the Assembly's action to pull down all ongoing projects along water bodies. According to him, the sale of such parcel of lands is mostly unauthorized.
There are so many encroachments on the river or in the river. We have been fighting over it. But it seems some of the youth in the community has connived with some land guards or thugs to sell those lands. When you start talking of it, they don't take you serious. I'm talking of the Nsaki River, around Bokoboko area, around Bokoboko Paradise area. Yes, MCE came there with the Nagbo people, and we went with them, demolished some buildings over there, but still they start putting up those structures again. So we are pleading with the NADMO and the MCE to continue, demolishing it. When they demolish, they demolish. I think it will stop.
The chief of Abeman, Ni Abe IV, says though the exercise to pull down uncompleted building projects around river bodies is important, some form of compensation can be made available to the developers.
Our concern is we will be grateful the government will be able to compensate those who are living in the area there, even if they will be sacked away. And now that the government is telling us they are coming to take the land purposely for farming and others, the commitment has been committed already, so they should come in with human face first, and then if there's any compensation to be given there, because nobody knows and it has happened.
The Accra Regional Police Command has arrested 2 residents of Adabraka for allegedly attacking police personnel and causing damage to property at the Adabraka police station.
The 2 were part of an angry mob that stormed the police station on Wednesday to register their displeasure over the conduct of an officer, which allegedly led to the death of their colleague.
Now there is more in this report by Citi News' Anas Seidu.
Some angry residents of Adabraka stormed the police station to protest against the conduct of a police officer which allegedly caused the death of their colleague. They allege that the residents lost his life after he fell into the Odo River whilst he was being pursued by the said officer. Citi News caught up with the assembly member for the Adabraka electoral area, Henry Kena, at the Accra Regional Police Command.
I was called by one of my community members that
there has been an incident. One of the boys jumped into the water, the Odo drain, and he drowned and died. So when they were coming, they were agitating. They are taking the body to the police. They are taking the body. They want to go and give the body to the police because it's a policeman who chased him and he fell in the gutter. And I tried my best to stop the thing, but Charlie, the way they were many, you can't do anything.
Did they tell you what happened before he jumped into the water?
What they were saying was that they said he was struggling with the policeman, and the policeman was chasing him, and he jumped into the water.
But the Accra Regional Police Commander, DCOP Frederick Edinim, had a different narration to events that led to the death of the young man.
A group of young men he can identify when seen, according to him. They emerged and attacked him. In fact, they brutally assaulted him. As I'm speaking to you, he's on admission. A group of young men, including women numbering about 500, besieged the Adabraka police station amidst stone throwing, and the process, they caused damage to a Toyota saloon car with registration number GP 5130. Daewoo taxi cab with registration number GR 485317. That's 17. And Toyota saloon car with registration number GR 366711. The mob also attacked the counter NCO, who was a lady, One Comfort Ajiman, and then his station orderly, who is also a constable, Samuel Yeboah Ampofu.
According to the police, they have arrested 2 of the residents who stormed the station.
They are with us now. We are investigating. Interrogations are going on. As I said, we will give you subsequent feedback.
The assembly member pledged to support the police in their investigations.
I have information which I wanted to help so that we can get those guys, but the one I called to come and help me, they have rather arrested him. So that is the reason why I'm here. I'm here to see to it that I get my guy back so that we can help the police to investigate this issue.
The Accra Regional Police Command has assured that thorough investigations will be conducted into this particular incident, and anybody found culpable will be dealt with. Reporting for Citi News, I am Anas Seidu from the Accra Regional Police Command.
And that's how we wrap up. You've been watching the Citi Newsroom on Citi TV. Remember, our website, citinewsroom.com, has more information on our top stories and more.
Please subscribe to CityTube on YouTube for more exclusive video content from Citi TV.
Download the Citi Newsroom app from the Google Play Store and keep updated on the go.
You can also watch Citi TV on DSTV channel 363 and GoTV channel 182.
My name is Frime Dunyami.
And my name is Michael Obodu. Thank you for watching. As always, please stay safe.